slides?
Kuldeep will be showing those slides, right?
Yeah, but I have not received any slides from Mr. Wildner. If you could resend this, I can arrange to present.
I'm just resending it to you again.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Sangwan, will you resend it?
I'm resending it to him.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have the PDF document. I have the PDF document.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So you'll be present. Should I send it to you again?
No, I have it. I have it. I thought it's a PDF. I thought it's a presentation he has sent. I could see it's a PDF document. Yeah.
Kuldeep, this is Prasad here. I think you have received my presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Mr. Fabio, yours, Mr. Lokesh Agrawal, and from Mr. Sangwan as well.
Okay. Now, I think this Professor Kamakoti is just sending it to you if you can receive it.
Sorry,
I think you were sending me presentation. So, have you...
No, I'm not having a presentation. I'm going to direct.
Okay. Okay, great. No problem.
Just a clarification. This is Fabio. It's the presentation will be shared not by me, or because I think I don't have authority to share in this login format.
Yes, the presentation will be shared by the CI IT cell.
Good. So I will be speaking. I will be speaking while somebody else will scroll the slides eventually. Thank you.
So, question to the PRD. Is the other session running on time, or we got few minutes?
Sorry?
The other session is just closing. We can start in a minute or two. I'll just confirm back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
The session is over. We can start now. Good afternoon. Welcome to all the delegates for this session, panel discussion 2, cross-industry technology innovations and their application in agri machinery. The session moderator is Mr. Akshay Sangwan, Director, Development and Commercial, International Tractors Limited. Over to Mr. Sangwan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Kuldeep. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all the panelists on our panel discussion and all the viewers who have joined in today. I will take a moment to formally introduce all the panelists to you. So, Kuldeep, can you please put on the slide?
Sure.
I think
It's taking little time. It's taking little time. Meanwhile, I request you to introduce all the panelists.
Sure. So our first panelist is Mr. Oliver Wildner. He is the Director, Mobile Control and Product Management Project Leader for Electronic Hitch Controls for Tractors at Bosch Rexroth. Second panelist is Professor Kamakoti. He is a Senior Professor and Associate Dean of Industrial Consultancy and Sponsored Research at IIT Chennai. Panelist is Mr. Manohar Sambandam. He is the CEO at Green Robots Machinery. The fourth panelist is Mr. Prasad Kulkarni. He's the Managing Director and CTO of SAP Parts Private Limited. Then we have Mr. Fabio Gallo. He is the Strategic Marketing and Product Management Director at Carraro SPA. And then we have Dr. Lokesh Agarwal. He's the Vice President and Head of R&D at National Engineering Industries. So once again, I welcome all of you and thank you for joining us at this panel discussion. As we move ahead, I would be requesting all the panelists one by one to share their views on this topic, which we have chosen today, of cross-industry technology transfer to farm agribusiness. Farm agribusiness has been growing at a rapid pace, and over these years, now we see an amalgamation of technologies happening in this segment. There was a purely mechanical segment, which was earlier dominating farm machinery, but now we have electronics, IT, all of it coming into it. We have just prepared a framework of how we foresee the technology moving ahead. The discussions will be related to these, and they will be, all the panelists will be touching upon these topics as we go ahead. So just to give you a brief, we foresee that the technology in agriculture segment, we will see the tractors, harvesters moving up in technology functions. There will be functional features at aggregate levels, which will get an upgradation. And there will be added features, which are new features, which will come on these vehicles, more to do with IoT connected vehicles. We would see hybrid and electric powertrains coming to a near future on farm machinery. And we would see autonomous and remote diagnostic services getting added as additional features. Along with it, there will be a parallel roadmap which will come out, that is the crop management, and that will give a boost to precision farming through AI platforms. And these AI platforms will be carried on to new technology or new machineries, which can be drone or robotic mounted. So one by one, we will hear out all our speakers and their views at how do they see this technology evolving and what role their companies are playing in this sphere. So thank you so much. First of all, I will Mr. Oliver Wildner, who's from Bosch Rexroth, to put up his views on this. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Sangwan, and everybody in the discussion. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Hello from the winterly Germany. It's a pleasure to be part of this panel discussion. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I have been visiting the Agrotech show in Chandigarh for the last 2 events and liked the professional organization of the show very much. The discussion with the machine manufacturers are always very inspiring. Also, the interaction with the farm owners. It always gave a real and fresh perspective to the activities we are doing at Bosch Rexroth. And we could relate. Last but not least, I also enjoyed very much the evening get-togethers, which have been organized by CII for an exchange with other professionals. So very nice organization, a very nice package. I would like to let you know that in 2022, Bosch will complete 100 years of service to the Indian nation. During these 100 years, Bosch has invested in 16 plants and is currently employing approximately 31,000 people. A lot of products are produced in the country and supplied to the customers in India. And even before the government launched Made in India, Vocal for Local, Bosch has always been producing locally to meet the local needs of India. And with this endeavor, we are fully committed to the Atmanirbhar Bharat program of India. Bosch has installed and is extending important functions like development, validation, application engineering, all locally in India. So Bosch stands for Atmanirbhar Bharat India. Bosch Rexroth has been a pioneer in developing innovative solutions for an agricultural market. Since the first development of the mechanical hitch control we did in Germany in the 1950s, to the latest electro-hydraulic hitch control system enabled to do land leveling, we have come quite a long way. With regards of technology and innovation, I will talk about the electro-hydraulic hitch control and land leveling, amongst many other solutions. Around this world, many customers have become patrons of our electro-hydraulic hitch control solutions. So in order to adapt the EHC system to Indian requirements, we did several hundreds of hours of testing at various field conditions in various regions with various implements and in regions with specific application demands. I very well remember application trials we did in the Tiba area. It was quite a deserty area. We now arrived at a system capable of producing high quality work results, increased yield, comfortable operation, and advanced safety for the farmers in India. We are very well aware that our planet is covered by 2/3 with water, but still water is an essential resource, which is in shortage in some parts of the world with negative effects when it comes to food production. Wastage of water can be greatly reduced and yield can be increased by doing land leveling prior to the plantation. So Bosch Rexroth has further developed its EHC8 system so that the tractor fitted with a Rexroth hitch control system is also capable of doing land leveling with only a few additional components. We are adding value to the tractor and making it economical for the farmer to use this advanced technology and to reduce the wastage of water and increase his yield. And coming to the best part of this journey, all the components of the EHC system are manufactured in India. We truly believe that our system will benefit the farmers in India and help them to move the advanced technologies for better life and livelihood. And I think personally that is an excellent example for cross-industry technology innovations and the application to agri machinery. So the first step is always to bring computing power into your farm machinery. For the next step, I can tell you that the sky is the limit. So endless opportunities. For this also, Bosch Rexroth had developed Bodas Connect services. The services are covering data management, like you see on the slide here, as well as device management. So operations like fleet management, condition monitoring, and interfaces to data processing tools and techniques are available on the data management side, and the device handling, over-the-air services, and cloud-to-cloud communication are parts of the device management side. So there's a lot more to come. The possibilities seems endless. However, we always need to analyze the different use cases and business cases behind it with a very critical mind. And I think what is helping with this analysis is the following phrase. And this is big data without big ideas is big nonsense. I think this always helps to analyze the use cases and the business cases in this area. So coming to the end of my brief speech, I can tell you that I always enjoyed all the interactions with the industry and the people in India, and also particularly the garlic naan and the palak paneer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. That was really entertaining and nice to hear what Bosch Rexroth has been doing in India for such a long time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I invite Professor Kamakoti to share his view on the topic.
Thank you, Akshay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. One of the major initiatives that have been taken by the government of India, what I wanted to present specifically on the digital intervention to agriculture. There's a national mission on cyber physical systems, which is now funded by the Department of Science and Technology, in which precision agriculture is one of the major components. So there is a vision for India that we double or triple the farmers' income within the next few years. And in this role, the digital technology, I'm sure, is going to play a very important role. One of the important steps that we have been taking is also on what we call as regenerative agriculture, where one cycle of agriculture basically feeds into the next cycle of seeding and production. And there are certain very nice data flow that are basically captured And to facilitate this this regenerative agriculture, there are many digital technologies that can play a very important role. In the next few minutes, I'll just list out some of the things here. One of the things that we are talking of is about RF type of interventions, wireless interventions, to basically sense, soil parameters, environmental parameters on a regular basis, drone interventions to capture images and do edge level image processing to find out the pest infection or the health of the crop fundamentally, and then also regarding the ripening of fruits or the quality of the produce, depending upon whether it's paddy or sugarcane, etc. The third important thing is that there are a lot of mini robotics which are coming in, which can basically go inside, say, for example, inside a grape plantation and spray pesticides or repellents from bottom so that it has a good coverage rather than the wastage of that. And there are a lot of irrigation initiatives. The irrigation, one is, of course, drip irrigation and controlled irrigation. And there are also a lot of fluid flow type of computation methodologies which can basically talk about controlled irrigation and how we reach irrigation to the different and very importantly today, to make these type of micro robotics possible, there are efforts to make equipments which are lightweight. So there is a team at IIT Madras also which are working at composites. Basically, they are from the aero discipline, but they are looking at composites which can actually make lightweight plowing equipments, and these are going to be extremely crucial when we are going to make predominantly electrical and electronics equipments to do these farming activities. Last but not the least, of course, AI comes in a very big way. There is a farm to market, flow that we need to build up. It will be sort of an enterprise architecture. And then there are a lot of places where we need to have sensitize the data, the movement of data, etc. There's going to be a lot of governance. That could be lightweight blockchains that are going to be placed. And this data over a period of time, including weather data and other environment parameters data, it is going to basically really trying to build up a very good AI platform, which can be used for prediction, it can be used for marketing, it can be used for many other these things. So these are some of the very important digital initiatives under the national mission. So from IIT Madras, I just want to share one screen, if you could enable me. So we have the national mission has opened up 25 technology innovation hubs across the IITs. IIT Madras is given the vertical of sensor, networking, actuators, and control systems. So we are trying to build something called RASA, Regenerative Agriculture Stack Architecture for India. And we are looking at both national and international collaboration for that. Our Section 8 company is called Pravartak, IITM Pravartak Technologies Foundation, which is funded by the Department of Science and Technology. And we look forward to the next digital era intervention into the agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful. Thanks for sharing the research which has been doing. You have been instrumental in taking academics to the industry and making sure that there are implementations. Most of these things which you have talked about are real world issues which are being faced by farmers in farm technology. And we would like to explore more from the industry side, that how can we implement them at the earliest into the industry. Thank you so much. Now I invite Mr. Manohar Sambandhan. He is the Chief Executive Officer at Green Robotics Machinery.
Yeah, thank you, Sangwan. I am representing Green Robo Machinery. We are a farm robotic company working on farming for harvesting solutions. Can you take to the next slide, please? What we have built is a farm robo for picking cotton. When I say picking cotton, it's basically a precision picker which can pick multiple times the cotton in the field. Currently, we do now. So we have a robot detect, locate, and pick cotton, and then multiple of this robotic arm is mounted on a vehicle. The picture on the left actually is a 2-arm robo. It's an electric vehicle. So we as a company are looking at precision farming task. Humans, right? What is the technology we adopted and what are the challenges I like to talk about? We are trying to adopt the 3 major industry ecosystems while we build this product. Basically, we are a robot, so everything of what is there in the robotic industry is something we have as part of our solution, or we are adopting some of those technologies there. We are also adopted the drone as an ecosystem for a very simple reason, because they are the one who are driving cost to a large extent to an affordable level where we can build this kind of missions to a farm ecosystem. And we also happy that the electrical vehicle is one other thing which we had to use for even building a farm electric vehicle. So the technology itself is something. Here we have a 3D vision, which is essentially the mechanism for us to detect and locate objects. In our case, it is cotton. And we use what's called as depth AI for high precision positioning location. So that's the fundamental, and these are all part of the robo as a technology. We all use the aspects of what is there in robo. We use what is called a ROS 2.0 for our in the software. We also use BLDC motors primarily because that is the one which is driving the cost down for us, not necessarily the servo motors which are in the industrial segment. And I believe we need to have autonomous navigation, and that's the one we already is trying to build something from the electrical vehicle technology. It's all in open source. We are also building a larger mission, which is down in the picture, for mostly farming as a service. The mission I'm building or commercializing now is a 4-arm solution, which will be for a medium and large size farmers. Can you move to the next slide, please? The challenges we have is essentially 3-pronged: the reliability and robustness, usability in open farms, and cost. So coming reliability and robustness, we use Vision AI, which is hugely compute intensive. Typically, the industry uses the cloud infrastructure to compute, but that's not an option at all for us in the farm because of the unreliable communication network. I don't believe it will be easily solved in the next 5+ years. So we went into what's called as edge computing, and that's something which the industry is evolving now. So our solution is low-cost edge computing, and all our vision processing and controls are on the arm itself. We also require high performance, at least as good as the equivalent of multiple of those workers now. So we built a semi-autonomous operation. We don't expect the operator to do any intervention during the picking or even the vehicle moving in the row. So our vehicle is technically a semi-autonomous thing, and we don't intend to make it completely autonomous. Our arm can pick 50 kgs per day, which is actually one human picking, and multiple of these arms. We have 4-arm as a solution immediately. Will give you the productivity required. We can also build more of that to give high productivity. Right. The usability of the mission is one of the biggest challenges. I think we are completely electric. Electric power supply is something a big issue. We will get to a good solution when the electric ecosystem, EV ecosystem itself comes up. And we are building a mission very small because we need small missions, not the large missions. And I believe the bigger problem will be the support infrastructure when we go actually into mass scale, right? I still don't know how we are going to support this and whether we can. It has to be something like a mobile phone infrastructure where the maintenance is not such a big issue. Either we replace parts or throw it. That's the only thing I'm seeing. And cost is a very fundamental problem. We have been fortunate to use 3D printing to build and iterate through our development cycle, but then that's a great enabler for us. But we are riding on the larger ecosystem, that's the automobile and drone. for us to reduce the cost. And most of our parts are essentially off-the-shelf parts. The next slide is the last one. I believe there will be a robotic platform for very many different kind of terrains. The greenhouse farming may be the easiest to adopt this kind of robot, but the hilly terrains are something the most difficult from a vehicle point of view. There is a need for a position. That's my biggest challenge going forward. I think, but artificial intelligence by far will make a big difference for us in the agri-tech. Thanks for the time, and that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manohar, for that interesting presentation and your views on this topic. You have really implemented those theories into practice, and you have been working on it. We will get into this detail rounds also with you. Thank you. Now I invite Mr. Prasad Kulkarni.
Yeah.
He is the Managing Director and CTO of SA Parts. Hello, Mr. Kulkarni.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, good morning to everyone, and very good morning to Akshay and all the panelists. I'm Prasad, representing SAP Parts. SAP Parts is a company based out of Pune, which I have started in 2009 to make the mechanical phase seals. So I just want to introduce you about what the mechanical phase seal is. It is a two components. It's called duocone seals, and Caterpillar got the patent for these seals in around 1970s. Obviously, the patent is not in place now. So we in India we were thinking to make the mechanical phase seals, and we started making the mechanical phase seals, particularly for the construction and automotive industry, as well as the defense industry. So I started supplying to haul trucks for the defense, and that was our first job at the hand. And the mechanical phase seals, we started supplying these phase seals to the all the defense establishments for the haul trucks, haul truck manufacturing, and for all the haul trucks. And I found that, okay, these mechanical phase seals, we need to make these seals by the castings, and we have developed two special cast products, and I got these two cast products patented, and that is called Krishnakayas and Jalikayas. These are the very abrasion resistance cast products or cast iron, which we manufacture ourselves inside. And I have the very robust process for making this mechanical phase seals. Then we have transformed our mechanical phase seal knowledge to the construction equipment and tunnel boring applications. And then we have got a very nice response, because my product was something which is revolutionized, particularly from the point of view of the cost and the quality and the innovations which I have put into the products, particularly in the tribology and the abrasion resistance of the material what we use. So we have built our product for the multinational companies in the Germany and USA, and I have got established my distributors and business partners in Germany and USA, and now we have all the customers ranging from all the tractor manufacturers to the tunnel boring manufacturers to the construction equipment manufacturers are our customers. We spread across all the globe, and from the local we have really gone to the global, and right now we are exporting around 60% of our revenue comes from the exports, and that is from the Europe and US. So after doing this, we got an opportunity to look after Indian agriculture segment, and we look after the problems of the paddy harvesting. The paddy harvesting is something which is taken care of, and now people are looking for rotavator padding, what they call it. So the rotavator padding is something where you have to rotate the field, the samplings by the applications, where you need the tractor with the four-wheel drive, and you need a rotavator which should be robust. And in India, that is knee deep up to the 4 feet, 5 feet inside the water. And the problem was definitely of the leaking of the regular seals. And then I come up with a product called mechanical phase seal or unitized mechanical phase seal for the paddy application. Obviously, I got the patent for this product, and this product is specifically for the paddy application tractors, where the life of the regular mechanical phase seal was around 200 hours, 300 hours, and we could able to get it more than 2,000 hours average life. And some tractors, I know they are running for 6 seasons right now. So normally, for the paddy applications, the tractors seems to be good. The seals seems to be good if they run for the 2 seasons. So now we have increased the expectations from the customer's point of view, that we are now up to 6 seasons. They have to forget about the leakage. The same things we have put for the rotavator. So I am proud to say that each and every rotavator manufacturer use our mechanical phase seals now. And the rotavator is such a business. When I've started, I can see that it was hardly 2,000, 5,000 rotavators seems to be a very big deal. But now, I think last year, together, all the industry, they have made more than 100,000 rotavators. Definitely more than 100. I don't think it is less quantity. It is always more. I'm just conservative. So, 100,000 rotavators going to the farm for the paddy applications with our seals. So we have already have the installation last year, 200,000 mechanical phase seals for the rotavators, and around 50,000 mechanical phase seals, unitized mechanical phase seals for the PTO applications. And while doing so, we have worked with our OEM partners very closely, and we went to Rajamundry, when we went to Salem, and we went to all the fields, and we see, how actually the seeds are going. And now we can say that we are extended our mechanical phase seals to the axles. So we are supplying the mechanical phase seals for the axles for the tractors with the very, very abrasion resistance cast iron. And with the SAPMAS being a farmer's son, and having the farming as my ancestors profession, we are always, I'm personally is always engaged to keep the cost at a very optimum level, and to give the benefits of the technology to our farmers. And I can proudly say that from the SAP parts, we are definitely achieved our goal, and we are now moving to all over the globe for giving these solutions for the unitized mechanical phase seal for the tractors. Most probably, this is the only stable from Indian sealing industry going global with the patented technology, and being adapted or being thought of putting it into their mainstream manufacturing cycles by the multinational OEMs. And that's something which we are proud of. I have the team of around 150 people. Out of that, 75 are the engineers coming from the rural backgrounds, from the small municipal towns across the Maharashtra, and we are doing a lot of innovations and research and development, particularly on the tribology and the abrasion resistance of the cast iron. And I will definitely would like to everyone, our panelists as well as the delegates, please come and visit us, see us, and we are always open to our customers 24 hours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kulkarni, for that insightful presentation. Most often we do not realize it, but weight of a machinery rests at times on these seals and bearings which we use. So, but yes, now the importance of these seals are getting more relevant when electronics are getting involved. So we'll come to that when we the question answer round. But thank you so much for the presentation. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Fabio Gallo. He's the Strategic Marketing and Product Director at Carraro SPA.
Morning, and maybe already good afternoon to all of you now, and thank you again to have invited me to share our vision as Carraro in the new coming technology on the agricultural industry. I would start from something that is quite common to the vision of some of the colleague panelists. So the big wave of digitalization that is pervasive all fields of technology, which on which I try to abstract a few elements, few trends that I believe very relevant to what we are discussing today. There are some motto, but you can find this somewhere in the analysis of the today's technology trends. So the first one is smart is this new green. So, we have a big challenge in front of all of us, and we will touch base once again in a moment. The living people in the globe are keep on increasing, and we need to find a way to sustain this increase in terms of consumption of resources. So smart can be a good enabler to precisely utilize what we deserve, no more than that. Another important aspect is sensorization. Sensorization, it's a fundamental brick in the wall of having the smart technology effectively implemented in every field. And last but not least, connectivity. Connectivity is what changed our life because today we are all connected. And not only that, we have been also, in a way or another, converging a convergence effect among different technologies, industries, products, which brings us to something that even a few months ago are totally unknown. Coming then to agriculture. Agriculture has a tremendous challenge in front of us. So it is expected to be the feeder, the main feeder of 9.5 billion of people by 2050. So it's to give the proportion of this challenge, it means that the amount of food since versus the 2010. So it's really a tremendous quantity. Not only that, people are asking for more complex, more articulated food. So it's not only a matter of quantity, but also is a matter of quality. So in essence, what we need to address is a higher productivity, so more crop per hectare of arable land. At the same time, anyway, we need to consume less resource. I put the picture of the 17 sustainable goal of the United Nations, which is, I think it's a good roadmap for that. So less arable land per per crop, less water, less anyway resources. So this brings me to, in essence, a summary to say what are the current trend and drivers and where Carraro is focusing. So the population growth, we already touch base, massive urbanization. So it's astonishing how the proportion of people cultivating land were 10 years ago and what is now. I mean, in the global terms, maybe with some little change in perspective for India, the terms of sustainability, and last but not least, we will discuss later on the future of energy, because this is an important aspect as well. So this means for us, in terms of agriculture, different elements to take care on. Element like the total cost of ownership for the equipment, robust and effective solution, connectivity, obviously the emission, because also emission is an extremely challenging aspect, and this brings to likely new business model also in the Indian reality. So for Carraro means as a big player, global player in the drivetrain, and very soon in the powertrain industry for the off-highway application, to take care about efficiency and productivity, the two faces of the same medal, to have available a wide range, a wide portfolio of product, not only one want or deserve one solution. This is an example you see in the slide, how we can integrate as a system provider different technology and different control in a vehicle. And also this bring me to the last slide of the presentation, very short snapshot, which provide our new technology roadmap. So the new technology roadmap, it's a compendium, if you want, of different aspects. And if you maybe can scroll down the slide, I can show you. We started to implement in the current generation of product the isobus technology. We are extensively using telemetry, and once again, digitalization is extremely important together with connectivity. Connectivity enable in the new product of Carraro the flash over the air, so injecting of software like a mobile phone in a very simple manner, in remote manner. And last but not least, talking about electrification, which we will touch base later on, and we will maybe be providing some hints regarding what we believe is viable for agriculture in the near future. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fabio. And that was a very detailed presentation and very insightful. You, of course, are not only related to the drive line, also getting the power line, but also a complete tractor manufacturer. And your views are important in this direction because you have a presence and you see where the technology is moving. We will take more views from you on that side when we get to the question and answer round. Thank you so much. Now, I would request our next panelist, Dr. Lokesh Agarwal. He's the Vice President and Head of R&D at National Engineering Industries.
So, thank you very much. And what you heard from 5 of my other colleagues, I will try to say what we are doing. So can you get my presentation?
Dr. Lokesh, your voice is breaking. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just stopping. I'm just waiting for my presentation. This is not my presentation. Saurabh, you can bring mine. So basically, Yeah, again, stop. So what I've been tasked to talk about is how does the cross-industry technologies are coming. We as a bearing company, what we are seeing is how the technology is moving from one area, which is say automotive or aerospace, and coming in. Can we go to the next slide, please? So if you look at us, like we are one of the very old companies in India started into the precision component. Gaurav, can you go to the next slide? We started in a key independence, and we realized that mobility is going to be big. Hence, bearings are very critical. So our promoter, Mr. Birla, started saying that we need to get into the bearing space. And based on that vision, we created this whole organization called NBC Bearings. And also we are known as NEI. We majorly play in automotive, railway, agriculture, industrial, and other segments. Is it only me who's not seeing the slide or everybody else? Slide?
I think there is some concern on it.
Yeah, Murphy does play a part quite a few times.
It's taking time to come up. We just try.
So, as we all, most of the Indian companies have gone through, we started long back. We also realized the importance of quality as well as R&D. And that has been our focus for last 15, 20 years. And that's how we have got this brand damning company can do have both branding and brand damning. We are consistently doing the R&D and generating patents, and how these technologies are coming into the product. So if you can go to the next slide, because that would be more interesting for us as part of this forum. If, as the slide comes in, what the slide talks about is the bearings which are used in, across the agriculture segment. Equipment. I won't be able to talk about it. Yeah. Can you go to next slide? Yeah. So if you look at this, right, I just quickly map for the audience like where all the bearings go. So when we look at the big segment like tractors or combine harvester or tillage or CPO application, look at the amount of bearings which are used and which are all very critical for the equipment running smoothly running and so on. For example, in tillage, every rotating component would need either one or two bearings. So it can go from 15 minimum to like up to 70. Similarly, for combine harvester, we see typically more than 25 bearings and tractor and so on. So these are the where you see that which typically we don't see from the naked eye, but working very silently to make sure that the productivity keeps coming in. As Mr. Kulkarni said about the steel, bearings also does the exactly same. If you go to the next slide, please. So, as Fabio said, similarly, we mapped out what are the bearings drivers are for the agri equipment. Please. Yeah. So, as everybody talked about it, reliability is a very, very important. Now, more than as the customers are getting more informed, customers' buying power is increasing, they also want a very quick uptime. So that is where it is coming in terms of reliability improvement. It's very important for bearing, in which we have the solution like load for life. as the parts move in, there is no preload change. Hence, you get consistent uh, performance as well as long life. As we have talked about it, right, we are going for tighter emissions. So that means clearly we need a tighter controls on the moving components, and we are taking the BS6 and other technology coming into the for the CAM and CEV which are coming in. Apart from that, as automotive, the technology is getting transferred, electrical vehicle, we are already started supplying both to domestic as well as export customers for electrical high-speed bearings. And which is a sort of, we are the one of the first one in India to design, develop, and manufacture. As you heard about the IoTs, the sensors, so please remember as a mechanical, we need to integrate those sensors inside our bearing or in a separate component. And what we have started working with, and we have started testing it, is the sensorized bearing, because it can give you the rotation speed, direction, the load on which a vehicle is operating on, as well as the temperature. Not only it gives an advantage in terms of reliability, which is a starting point, but also gives the user's pattern and gets a lot of data, which can be used for the duty cycle as well as improving our product. In the past, we have been always told that tractor, the space, yeah, we have a lot of it. We are finding that space there as well. And that's where we are trying to get into these power dense solutions, alternate material, heat treatment, and so on, which is coming in. And what we are seeing is similar, which started from the high-end cars or even the aerospace, getting into the agri, and we have quite a few solutions which can go into that. And last, considering the user's pattern, the crop pattern, the sealing, and the lubrication, because that is the one where bearings maximum is a very critical area. And we have developed few solutions like what called is oil impregnated solution, which is a bearing has a polymer which retains its oil. If you put the seal, even if you go under the water, you will still able to run it. And also for the two-wheeling system, you can run these things in very wet lead conditions as well as when there is a high humidity. Apart from that, we are also have a solution which can give you the double lift seal. And so these are the technology which we are seeing it. If you go to next slide, which we are seeing as a technology which is coming in from different areas and being seen in the agri equipment. And we are saying we have developed all of these, and can give us a good cost of ownership. I'm not saying that there will be always the low cost, but they're all done to frugal engineering and gives you a good total cost of ownership to be very low. The big thing which is about us is we are very flexible and agile to provide solution to customer, and we have a partnership approach with our customer to develop the product and so that it's a win-win situation with across the range of the product which we have. So that's all I wanted to quickly talk about it. Thank you.
Actually, you're muted.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agarwal, for the presentation. That was quite insightful. I was also not aware about the electronically connected bearings which you're having for the data sensors. Thank you. We'll get into that detail also. So thank you all the panelists. We are done with the individual sharing point of views. Now we will get into the question answer round where I will be directing the question based on our discussion so far. And I would expect you to hear your view on that. So my first question is Mr. Oliver. Hello, Mr. Oliver, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. So you shared about the technology roadmap for Bosch Rexroth, and you are developing electronic controls long play. Now, when we talk about technology upgradation for farm machinery, there is a step-by-step approach to that. And the first step towards is the technology upgradation at economic level. How do you see that evolution happening? And from concept to an economically viable solution which can be provided to the customer, and its acceptance by the customer also. I would like to have your views on that.
Yes, I'm happy to do this. Mr. Kuldeep, could you please share the slide I have provided? I think that very good help to explain how I see the situation. So, like you rightly said, the innovation starts at the aggregate level, and from here we need to build. So we have some things we need to bring into the machine. And from this point, we need to build onto this technology we are introducing in the machine. So, as an example, I think this is the Carraro presentation.
The Bosch, please.
Yes. So what we are introducing when we assembling a hitch control system into a tractor, we have the user panel or the control panel where the machine or the system gets operated from the user. Then we have sensors we introduce into the machine. And we also, and this is a big enabler in my view, introduce a control unit in the machine. And with this control unit, we basically enable all other further steps. So on the left side, like I mentioned, you see the components, all manufactured in India. And if we put this into machine, you are introducing a lot of computing power to your tractor. And our motivation is to use this computing power not only to do the actual task, controlling the hitch, but also giving you extended functionality like shown here on the right-hand side with land leveling. So we are using our CAN bus system to communicate with a laser receiver, and we use our hitch valve to operate as a leveling shield. So you only need to plug in one hydraulic connector and one electric connector. You can do this very quickly, and then your tractor will be able to do a land leveling. You are operating the land leveling. Can you please stay with the previous slide? So you are using the control panel of the hitch control also to operate as a land leveling functionality. And if you don't need the land leveling because it's a seasonal working, you just detach the hydraulic line and one electric line, and you can use the tractor for all other farm works. So like models are possible where several farmers can purchase the laser equipment and then share amongst each other, but having the technology very easily adapted to head tractors. And this is, in my view, the base level where with the land leveling, a first example how we can involve in this. And here it's very important that when we introduce a new technology in the machine, we need to do training. So we need to train the machine manufacturer, we need to train the service system, and we also need to train the end user. And herefore, we have an excellent team established in Bangalore. It's led by Mr. Harisha, and team leader is Mr. Hector. They are capable of introducing the system in the machine, doing the trainings, offer the trainings, and also we have developed a way where we can train the end users with a series of YouTube movies, for example. So there is a short movies available, longer movies available, showing everybody how our system is working and having a media here where we can distribute very easily and also getting contact to the end user in giving the information forward. So if you type in YouTube EHC -8, you will find a lot of training videos. So that is a good example for having a system installed and doing one add-on. And please, can you go to the next slide? And in my view, the possibilities are endless because we are producing data on the machine. We have a position sensor, we have a draft sensor, we have also other tractor data we can have and use to optimize other procedures on the field. And my personal opinion is that we need to move much closer to the actual processes we are doing in the field. When have we discussed last time, for example, the geometries of a plow, the geometries of a cultivator, and maybe these geometries need to be flexible during working to really optimize this kind of process in the field. But we need to go very close to the actual process where the work is happening underneath the earth in case of plowing or cultivating to understand what's happening and how can we optimize this kind of processes very close to where it actually happens. And then we have the possibilities like shown here, where we can do data management, where we can do device management, if it's necessary, also over the air, using bigger power of computing or storing data for next year or next season events to come. So a wide open field, training is important, and we really need to show a business case. A lot of possibilities are there, but as I said before, big data without big ideas is big nonsense. That would be my answer to the question. I hope this is satisfactorily answered.
Thank you so much, Oliver. So, as you mentioned, that training programs through YouTube channels and having an easy to use and through a modular design to ensure that the technology gets absorbed by the customers at a pace. Thank you so much. Now, thank you. Now, my next question is to you, Mr. Fabio. We have a lot of hybrid and electric drives. This has been the most hot topic this decade. And currently, the hybrid and electric is still in an evolution. And it is said that it goes through that evolution from one product category to another, starting from 2-wheelers, then to 4-wheelers, and to lastly, it would come to the farm machinery. What are your views on it? How do you feel that this evolution will happen and it will become a reality in farm machinery?
Okay, well, thank you for the questions. Electrification is, as you said, another important trend strictly correlated to the sustainability, so lower emission, higher efficiency. The main application that we consider in agriculture, the tractors, is indeed a not easy one to be electrified. One reason is because of the typical emission profile. So it's a vehicle and at the same time a mobile power plant, which need to feed the energy and power to several devices. So it's a sort of small ecosystem of implements that can be attached and need to be fed by this primary source of energy. Very seldom these tractor make what we call regenerative kind of cycles. So cycles whereby you can recollect at least a portion of the energy you spend in, and all together means that this kind of equipment is not an easy client, if you want, to be electrified. Much more difficult than a typical automotive or light commercial vehicle application, and also talking about the off-highway application, a construction equipment application, whereby for the emission profile, the typical white cycling of a loader or even a backhoe loader used as a loader can provide a much more favorable condition for the electrification in the hand. Having said that, I think that there are three important aspects, I would say, enablers that help every kind of electrification, and for this reason, also the electrification of tractors. Number one, technical progress in the electrification components are very fast. Now the big boost of the automotive industry is coming, and element and limit that today are still present. So element like the power density of electrical, even the best electrical motor, energy density, and when I'm saying then energy density are predominantly accumulators, so batteries, are more and more improving. Different chemistry, different solutions are coming. We need to be a little bit prudent because, you know, the best and more promising, somewhat still a little bit dangerous because, you know, some chemistry are prone to catch fire or to explode. So there is still a lot of hazardous analysis that need to be made to be using every kind of aggressive environment. But I think it's a matter of time. It's not something that will make us to wait decades. Another aspect, not much more important, is the cost. The cost today, in most of the cases, in our application, you don't make this electrification of equipment because you want to spare money, but on the contrary, because you want to obey some norms. Because we have made several exercises so far, and the cost of electrification is not self-sustaining the advantage that you have to don't burn fuel. Still, the cost of the componentry is pretty high. Unfortunately, the componentry that we deserve in the off-highway application are not equal to the automotive one for many different reasons, too long to be explaining in this session. So at the end of the day, we enjoy still a limited volume, and therefore the basis for leveraging lower cost is still lacking at the moment in time. Most of all, for what is concerning batteries. Batteries represent 60 to 70% of the cost of electrification of one equipment, and this is driving still higher costs. The famous target that has been placed in the automotive arena of 100 euro, you can convert in approximately 110, 120 US dollar per kilowatt hour, is within reach now, but is very far away for the typical chemistry and the installation in off-highway equipment, because I mean, batteries means battery management system, a lot, cooling system. So there is a lot of complexity which cannot be just the cells of batteries. Not least, the third enablers is represented by the infrastructure. So imagine that you need not only to put the typical diesel, which is readily available in a very capillars, very minute network almost everywhere. Electricity, especially in the amount that we deserve to make a full wave of electrification, yet to come. So we have to invest, every country has to invest in providing a more robust electrification network so that we can effectively make a recharge of a battery in a decent time, able to be effectively available, the equipment fully electrified. And I would close that, what I'm going to say, the bridge, as we are saying in other industry, will be the hybridation, different level of hybridation. And this is the typical bridge technology, bridge solution. There are several possibilities, which naturally provide a portion of the advantage, but it can be a viable solution in the due time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insight, Mr. Fabio. You have very clearly mentioned the reasons why it would not be a full electrification immediate basis. There are certain challenges which we still have to overcome, and there would be a bridge technology of hybrid powertrain which would come into picture. Thank you for sharing that. We are running slightly short in time, but I want everyone's views, so I'll quickly go to the next speaker. Dr. Lokesh Agarwal, my next question is to you. How would you rate the current preparedness of Indian component manufacturers to meet this technological requirement changes which are happening, which we have been discussing? And what do you feel that needs to be done to leap forward into this new era of technology?
Okay, so thank you. Is it possible to just go back to my slide where I talked about technology? If it is possible. Gaurav? So what I want to say on that is, as the slide is coming up again on the technology side. So if you see that the technology as such is available. As a component manufacturing, as the India has come up, right, we became an export hub. So the technology as such is available, and as a company, so if you go to slide number 4, there's a wide range of technology. Stop here. So a wide range of technologies available here. So from perspective of technology, it is there. Now, what comes in? How do we integrate these into the product for local need? As you said, right, the things which probably we as a company are not marketing enough or working together with between component and OEMs and customer. How do we bring these technology together for local need? If you start this technology, they all started from a global need, say high HP tractor or a steady state solution like automotive. Now, when you bring these things for agri, it becomes a different ball game. So for me, this question is technology ready? Answer is yes. You look at the vast range of technology being available. Can we understand them? Yes, we do understand them. Can I put them in practice? Answer is yes. What is important for us now to bring to Indian industry these technology is bringing two teams together of where the component industry, agriculture, the agriculture OEMs and customer come together and we optimize the solution. So as we other panelists talked about it, right? In India, we will go through something called, word which we used is the semi-automation. Right? It will not be 100% automation because we still have people, right? We can, so the cost of ownership, customer figures out very fast. So we need to adopt these problems, these technologies for solving customer problem is where the need is. And we as a company are constantly working with our partners, and that's how these technologies have been developed to see how we can make the total cost of ownership for the end customer is still good so that they adopt the technology, because we are also finding our customer mindset is changing. And that's where all this component technology which is available, which is typically we are saying this is reserved for global and this is for domestic, I think that line is getting blurred. And we need to continue to push these technology into the market. So that is my view, a very quick view. As you said, the time is running out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agarwal. That's a very interesting view, that awareness has to be brought, and yes, customization of the technology which is already available as per the market needs has to be done. Thank you so much.
And another thing I just want to say about it, what I heard from a professor is, this is the time now we need to come as a, not only at research, bringing the technology to the, saying that, yes, now that research is available, now start building the product. We need to work on this research to the bridge of the technology, and the technology bringing bridge to the product. And that's where the whole value chain will be created.
Right. Thank you so much. Now, my next question is to Mr. Prasad Putni. So, as we talked about the sealing technologies which are presently available, and we also discussed that farm machinery is, for one, is always exposed to the elements. Now, with technological upgradation happening on farm machinery, with more electronics coming into picture, what role will these seals be playing in ensuring that this technology transfer happens smoothly?
Hi, this is Prasad again, and this is basically a question which was, which was in the mind. The basic important for the sealing is the sealing. Sealing means that we have to seal and fit for forget sealings. What we look for. We are looking for fit for forget sealings for the agriculture industry. That means we have two options. One is that when the farmer or the end user use the seal, the seal should be outperform than any other parts inside the transmission of the assembly. So most important aspects for the sealing solution is to give a fit and forget solutions to the farmer and to the end user. While the question comes to using the technology for that, the uppermost technology we are looking for or we are using is the understanding the using or understanding the environment of the sealing, because one of the problems in the rotavators we have found is that there are the wires they use for the drip irrigation, and that wire entangles with the rotavator shaft, and the wire goes inside and the sealing is bumped. So this kind of problems we got first, and the first approach to the problem is to work the problems on the solid mechanical solutions. So the first solutions comes from the mechanical solutions, where we look out for the giving us robust and sturdy mechanical phase seal, along with give the solutions to the customers for avoiding the issues which are related to the application. So now when it comes to the technology for the electronics and these things, we can definitely work on, or we are working on the leak testers and wear testers. Wear analysis inside the transmission can be something which can be explored, and the leakage sensors can be integrated to the main. So where we can indicate the leakage, and we can give the early warnings of the leakage or the pre-sale failures. This kind of technology is already there in the haul trucks, haul truck axles, because haul truck axles are very costly, and the seals are also very big, and the changing them is very difficult. So we are already having some leakage analyzers in the haul truck, and again we have given a very nice Indian small solutions, and we are looking for going for NFM, near frequency sensors inside the seals. So when the near frequency sensors will be inside, and we can use the mobile technology, and the the farmer or the end user can be connected directly to my server, and he will tell us, okay, this is the seed, this is a leak, and we can go for the complete history of the seal, and we can advise him. So that is something which we are working on. That is near frequency sensors, and that is very rugged sensors coming with the cost of, you can say, some 20 rupees now. So just add a 20 rupee sensor inside the seal, and when a person come with NFM inside his mobile, he can directly connect with us as a computer manufacturer. We don't need equipment manufacturer, we don't need a shop owner, we don't need a mechanic. He can directly tell us, okay, something is happening and something is leaking, and we can directly contact him and guide him on the service. That's something we are looking for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that's a great example of what Dr. Lokesh was also talking about, that providing solutions which are specific to Indian market. If you can provide technology sensorized seals at a cost which an Indian customer can accept very easily, that is a win-win solution for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next question is to Professor Kamakoti. We discussed a lot of developments which affect the mission, and most of these technologies which you are developing, these are the technologies which now can easily be developed in a lab. Unlike these traditional technologies which required a lot of specifics in R&D, which only Indians were investing in, these technologies are developed over basic and the knowledge of electronics. How do you foresee changes? This change is bringing a change in terms of startups coming up and contributing towards technology transfer in farm machinery.
Excellent question, Akshay. I think this is going to be really a big revolution. Some of the things that we have mentioned, for example, simple sensor-based devices, these are things that could be locally manufactured. We could actually enable industries which can do this in large quantity. These are small things which can sell in large quantities, and that is how the business model would be. And the most important thing is that there is going to be significant amount of embedded software and AI and cloud-based infrastructure that is going to come up. So one interesting thing that either the large-scale public sector, private sector can do, or public sector can do, is to set up certain cloud-based infrastructures and enable the same to be available to the startups, so that the startups can basically bring their own devices, but ultimately lot more of work will do on the cloud, and that could be supported at a less cost, or even to say startup, it can be free for say some time till they actually prove their concept. I think this is a very, very interesting days ahead. And the other important point that I also want to bring out is that some of these sensing can quickly identify certain big disasters that could come. For example, I could tell I'm also a farmer by I do organic farming. Within a matter of say 16 to 18 hours, a complete 100-acre plantation can go for a toss if the pests are unidentified, right? So that's the way it is multiple corona spreads, right? That we can see, and this early detection can quickly come and arrest these things, and there are exciting problems that we can solve, and I think this is going to be very great ahead, great days ahead, and government can bring up some small infrastructures like cloud and certain virtual boxes that could be put. We can also put certain sandboxes there. Some of the efforts that we are going to take in this direction are under the RASA, the Regenerative Agriculture Stack Architecture, and I'll be really getting in touch with the other panelists to participate in this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. more often than not in agriculture, there is a very short window where we have to react. And if we can increase time length compared with using diagnostic tools which we're developing, the outcomes can be greatly changed. So thank you for sharing that. Now, my last question is to Mr. Manohar. Mr. Manohar, you have developed a technology, you have done a proof of concept of the technology, but that is one part of this whole picture. Now, acceptance of this new technology by the customer is totally a different gambit in which we discuss. Now, within the main concept of developing this technology was because of labor shortages, which we are having. And that is something which is happening in all these spheres. But when do you foresee that tipping point happening when the farmer or the customer will be ready to accept these new technology upgrades? And when we are talking about it, especially autonomous tractors and connected vehicles, which you have developed in that sphere, and when do you see that happening?
Okay, I really want to emphasize the point that the labor shortage or the exodus of labor is actually the main trigger. There's absolutely no, I'm a farmer. I actually started this company just because I couldn't get farm labor for picking my cotton. That's the fundamental trigger, really, right? And if you look at it, the more the country GDP grows, there is going to be a lot more exodus. It's already some 25 million people have moved out, especially the farm labor in the last 5 years. So technology adoption by farmers is not an issue. There has been instances 10 years back. We have the paddy harvester. There were a lot of political issues about that, but today there is no farmer who's not using a paddy harvester. So this is absolutely a given. The challenge is actually from the industry. Can I really build a solution at the right price point, at the right reliable and good usability model? I think a lot of speakers talk about it. How do I have an electric vehicle in the farm and how do I maintain? Those are the real challenges. Of course, the price cannot be very extremely high, but paddy harvester, I can give you an example. I was paying 1,600 5 years back. Today it is 2,400 per hour. Paddy harvester, I'm still using. There's no other option. So cost is one factor, but all other factors have to be good. It has to be really, really good, useful at the farm gate. A tiller is very, very difficult to service at a farm level. What about a robo? It's absolutely a nightmare. So we have to solve that. I think it's an industry challenge, and the farmers accepting it. Farmers will accept it. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think what you have rightly mentioned, the need is there now. There's no denying it, and this technology can fulfill that need. Now, only these predominants are there, which we can overcome very easily as we go along, and the acceptance for this technology would come. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your views. It has been a great discussion, and from all of your views, the main crux which I can take out at least is that this technology movement is happening now in every sphere on farm machinery, and it would only accelerate in the coming times. All those players who are already involved in farm machinery at any level, be it from supplier level to the OEM manufacturing level, has to level up with these technology movements, and all these new ideas get implemented to the field also. We will all stay in touch. We will share our ideas further also. And once these things are happening, when the next conversations happen, we will share how things have moved from this conversation to the next one. So thank you all for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Akshay,
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.